Welcome back to the channel Coins Master, coin lovers, treasure hunters, and history buffs. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible, thrilling, and absolutely jaw-dropping story behind one of the most overlooked yet wildly valuable coins in American history, the 1971 Lincoln cent, also known as the 1 cent of Liberty, minted in San Francisco. This isn't just any penny. This small copper coin carries a legacy of American resilience, a connection to the past, and for a few lucky collectors out there, a life-changing payday. That's right, this unassuming little coin, often tossed aside or forgotten in a drawer, has been known to fetch thousands upon thousands of dollars, with some versions soaring to a staggering $11,000 and more depending on condition, rarity, and historical significance. So don't blink, because you might just have one of these treasure pieces sitting in your change jar right now. Let's take it back to the roots, to the heart of the story. In 1971, America was riding the wave of the post-1960s era, a time filled with social change, political tensions, and major shifts in national identity. And during this pivotal year, the United States Mint in San Francisco struck a coin that would go on to become one of the most fascinating cents ever produced. That's the 1971 Lincoln penny, easily recognized by the small S mint mark just below the date. The S stands for San Francisco, the historic mint facility known for producing proof coins, and in some cases, uncirculated rarities that would capture the imagination of coin collectors for generations. The Lincoln cent series itself began in 1909, introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator. The man who led the nation through its Civil War and preserved the Union. His portrait, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, was the first real-life person to appear on a regular-issue American coin. The design was revolutionary, and it marked a new chapter in American coinage. But by 1971, the Lincoln cent had already gone through some subtle changes. What hadn't changed was the classic motto, "In God We Trust," emblazoned at the top, Liberty, to the left, and the proud statement of the coin's value, 1 cent, on the reverse, along with United States of America. But what makes the 1971 version so unique isn't just where it was minted, it's what happened during the minting process and the types of strikes that were created. You see, in 1971, the San Francisco Mint primarily produced proof coins, special edition coins with a mirror-like surface, sharp details, and extraordinary clarity. These proof coins weren't meant for circulation. They were struck multiple times with polished dies on specially prepared blanks, designed purely for collectors and often included in U.S. Mint proof sets. But as fate would have it, a few of these rare proof coins somehow made their way into circulation. That's right, a handful of pristine 1971 Lincoln proof cents, with all their deep mirror-like fields and razor-sharp features, slipped into the pockets and purses of everyday Americans. And that's when the mystery and excitement began. These rare strays are now worth serious money, up to $11,000 or more in today's market, and even higher if graded as PR70 by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC. But there's even more to the story. The 1971 Lincoln cent is also part of a numismatic puzzle that keeps collectors up at night. One of the most sought-after variations is the 1971 double die obverse, or DDO. This means that during the minting process, the coin's die, the engraved stamp used to strike the image, shifted slightly between strikes, creating a doubled image on the coin's design. In this case, you can clearly see doubling in the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and even the date, 1971. It's not just a tiny flaw, it's a dramatic, visible doubling that jumps out to the naked eye. Coins with this type of doubling are incredibly rare and command massive premiums at auctions. One near-perfect 1971 DDO proof cent sold for over $10,000 at a public auction, and that's just for one coin. So why is this coin worth so much? It's not just the mint mark or the doubling, it's the perfect storm of scarcity, condition, and historical context. Fewer than a handful of these double-die versions are known to exist in top condition. Combine that with the fact that many proof coins were mishandled, tarnished, or scratched over the decades, and suddenly, finding a flawless 1971 S-proof cent with dramatic doubling becomes a needle in a haystack kind of discovery. That's what makes collectors go crazy. That's what turns heads in the numismatic world. That's what sends the price sky high at auction blocks from New York to Las Vegas. Even standard 1971 S-proof cents without doubling can be worth hundreds or thousands, depending on condition. A flawless, deep cameo-proof coin, one with frosted details and shiny, mirror-like backgrounds, graded PR69 or PR70 can sell for over $1,000 with ease. And if there's even a slight anomaly, like an off-center strike, a planchet error, or a dramatic toning pattern, the value skyrockets further. Collectors love the story, the look, the rarity, and the mystery that surrounds the 1971 S Lincoln cent. It's a coin that represents not just a monetary value, but a piece of American heritage struck in metal and frozen in time. And what about circulation? Believe it or not, millions of people have handled this coin without realizing its worth. It could be in a coffee shop's tip jar. It could be under the cushions of your couch. It might be resting at the bottom of your change jar or glued to a child's elementary school project. That's what makes it so thrilling. Because the next big discovery could be made by anyone, and yes, that includes you. Imagine flipping through an old coin roll, spotting that little S under the date, holding it up to the light, and realizing you've just found a piece of American numismatic gold, figuratively speaking, of course. That's the magic of coin collecting. That's the excitement that has collectors hunting day and night. In today's market, the buzz around the 1971 S Lincoln cent has only grown louder. With more people diving into the world of coin collecting, and the value of rare error coins steadily climbing, the demand for unique 1971 S cents continues to explode. Coin shows, online auctions, social media coin groups, everyone's talking about it. Collectors are scrambling to find the best examples, especially those with errors or pristine proof grades. The supply is drying up, but the appetite keeps growing. As a result, the 1971 S cent has become a symbol of potential, a tiny, copper-coated clue that treasure may be closer than we think. So the next time you receive change, don't just toss it aside. Look closely. Study the date. Check for the mint mark. Look for doubling in the letters. You could be holding something worth far more than 1 cent. You could be holding a coin that sells for over $11,000. You could be holding history in your hands. And if you're a serious collector or just someone curious about coins, now is the time to act. Get yourself a magnifier, pick up a red book, start checking proof sets, and dig through your old coin jars. Because out there, somewhere, more of these coins are waiting to be discovered. The 1971 S Lincoln cent, it's not just a coin. It's a hidden legend. A copper treasure. And for the lucky few who uncover its secrets, it's a gateway to a truly life-changing find. So go now, check your change, dig through your drawers, and join the hunt. Because this is the coin that continues to surprise, continues to amaze, and continues to shine a light on the untold riches hidden in plain sight. Don't miss your chance. The next $11,000 penny could be in your pocket right now. Because today, we're going to unlock the incredible and shocking story of the 1975 D Lincoln 1 cent coin, a coin that many overlook, but one that collectors and investors are going wild for in today's market. You're about to learn how one little copper coin with the words "In God We Trust" could be worth up to $186,000. Yes, you heard that right, $186,000. This isn't fiction. This isn't a myth. This is real numismatic gold hiding in plain sight, and if you've got one, your life might be about to change. The 1975 D Lincoln cent might look like any other penny at first glance, small, brown, easily ignored. But numismatists and sharp-eyed collectors know the truth. This is one of the most desirable and valuable coins in the history of modern American coinage. And here's why. To understand the true value of this coin, we have to go back to the history behind it, a history rooted in American pride, political symbolism, and minting perfection. Let's talk about where it all began. In 1909, the United States Mint released the first Lincoln cent to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. For the first time in American history, a real person, a president, was honored on a circulating U.S. coin. The design was iconic from the beginning, and it featured Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln on the obverse. That portrait has remained largely unchanged for over a century. But what makes the 1975D version so unique and valuable is not just its design, it's the story, the errors, the rarity, and the condition. Minted at the Denver Mint in Colorado, the 1975D Lincoln penny carried the D Mint mark just below the year. In that year, billions of pennies were struck for circulation. But not all pennies are created equal. Among those billions, there were some very special and extremely rare versions, struck in extraordinary condition, some with mint errors, and others that were preserved in pristine form by chance. While most 1975D cents are only worth face value, a tiny number of these coins have surfaced in incredible, gem mint state, graded MS-68 red by professional grading services. And that's where the true fortune lies. The beauty of the 1975D cent lies in its materials and its immaculate preservation. This coin is part of the era when pennies were still made primarily from copper, 95% copper and 5% zinc to be exact. That composition gives the coin its rich, reddish tone and a certain metallic weight that newer pennies lack. By 1982, the U.S. Mint would switch to a cheaper copper-plated zinc composition. So, any pre-1982 penny has more intrinsic value simply due to its copper content. But again, that's not what pushes the 1975D into the stratosphere. Let's now talk value. And brace yourself, because this is where things get insane. A rare 1975D Lincoln cent graded in superb gem mint state, with full red luster, clean surfaces, and strike perfection, can fetch astronomical prices at auction. We're talking $186,000 and climbing. One such coin caused a bidding war among elite collectors, each of whom knew they were looking at one of the finest examples of a coin that should never have survived circulation in such condition. The coin eventually sold for nearly $200,000, breaking previous records and igniting a firestorm of interest in Lincoln cents from the 1970s. This coin is rare not only because of its condition, but also because of population scarcity. The number of MS-68 red 1975D Lincoln cents certified by the major grading companies like PCGS and NGC is incredibly low. We're talking single digits. That means out of the billions minted, only a microscopic fraction remains in this elite, investment-grade quality. And for collectors, that kind of rarity is irresistible. When demand meets extreme scarcity, prices explode, and that's exactly what's happening in the current coin market. But even beyond condition, there are some 1975D Lincoln cents that are fetching big bucks because of mint errors. Double dies, off-center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet have been documented, and they are very desirable. A 1975D Lincoln cent with a strong double die obverse, for example, can sell for thousands, even tens of thousands, depending on its condition and the intensity of the doubling. These errors are like hidden Easter eggs from the mint, and finding one can be like winning the lottery for collectors. Now, let's go even deeper. Imagine owning a coin that's worth more than most luxury cars, or even a house, all for something that once cost a single cent. That's not fantasy, that's the magic of rare coins. These aren't just collectibles, they're tangible pieces of American history, valuable commodities, and works of miniature art all in one. And unlike stocks or bonds, coins like the 1975D Lincoln cent can be held, admired, passed down, and cherished. They're real, they're rare, and they're rising in value. In today's market, the demand for high-grade Lincoln cents is exploding. With more people investing in physical assets and turning to collectibles that hold historical significance, coins like the 1975D are becoming hot properties. Top collectors, coin investment firms, and even international buyers are flooding auctions, scouring estate sales, and digging through rolls of pennies in hopes of finding a gem hiding in plain sight. It's a modern-day gold rush, and the 1975D is one of the top treasures everyone is after. So, How can you know if you've got one of these miracle coins? First, check the date and mint mark. It must be a 1975 with a small d just below the date. Then, look at the overall condition. Does it have that brilliant red copper shine? Is the detail on Lincoln's hair and coat crisp and sharp? Any major scratches, nicks, or discoloration will reduce value, but if your coin looks flawless, you could be sitting on a jackpot. The next step is grading. For a coin to reach 6 figures in value, it must be professionally graded by a top-tier grading service and receive a high mint state rating, like MS67 or MS68 red. That grading is what gives collectors confidence and drives competitive bidding in the marketplace. And let's not forget the eye appeal. Even among coins graded the same, collectors will pay a premium for the example that just looks better. A blazing red 1975D with a razor-sharp strike and perfect centering will always attract top dollar. And with the market as hot as it is right now, these coins are commanding record-setting prices every year. This is your moment. The story of the 1975D Lincoln cent is still being written, and you could be part of it. Check your jars, your drawers, your old piggy banks. Ask your parents and grandparents if they ever saved old coins. Because somewhere out there, more of these hidden gems are waiting to be found. And who knows, the next person to uncover a pristine, mint state 1975D penny worth $186,000 might just be you. So if you found this video fascinating, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more rare coin stories and updates on the most valuable pieces of US currency. This is just the beginning. Stay tuned, stay curious, and keep your eyes on your change, because treasure doesn't always glitter. Sometimes it's copper, it's old, and it's worth a fortune. Have you ever looked closely at a simple penny? Not just any penny, but the 1991 Lincoln 1-cent coin that might be hiding in your pocket change, piggy bank, or stuck behind your couch cushion. Because what if I told you that one small, brown copper-colored coin, weighing just 2.5 grams, and bearing the iconic words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and "United States of America," could be worth not $1, not $100, but up to a jaw-dropping $194,000 in today's collector market? Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent, minted in 1991, now soaring in value like a rocket shot from history into the modern age. So sit back, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay until the end, because this story about the 1991 Lincoln cent is not just about a coin. It's about forgotten treasure, overlooked history, and the possibility that you might be holding a fortune in the palm of your hand. Let's rewind the clock all the way back to 1991. It was a time of change. The internet was just being born, people were renting VHS tapes at Blockbuster, the Gulf War had dominated the headlines, and in the United States Mint, millions of pennies were being struck as usual. But among the mass of ordinary coins, something extraordinary happened. A batch of 1991 Lincoln cents came out not like the others. They looked similar, sure, copper-plated zinc, featuring the classic bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, facing right, his solemn face etched with the wisdom of time. The reverse still bore the Lincoln Memorial, a timeless tribute to the nation's 16th president, surrounded by bold letters proclaiming, "United States of America," and the iconic, "E pluribus unum." But certain 1991 pennies were made with slight, nearly invisible errors. These rare variations, unnoticed by the public for years, would soon become the holy grail for coin collectors around the world. Some were double dies. Others had off-center strikes, or mint mark anomalies. And a very few, an extremely rare few, were minted on the wrong planchet, meaning instead of being made with the standard copper-plated zinc, they were struck on bronze blanks or foreign coin blanks due to a minting mishap. These errors, often unnoticed during quality control, became priceless rarities over time. And the coin collecting community took notice. As collectors began to dig deeper, more and more variations of the 1991 Lincoln cent emerged from obscurity. Coin hunters scoured eBay, estate sales, flea markets, and coin shows for these elusive little treasures. Numismatic experts published articles, blogs, and catalog entries, documenting every known error type from that year. The buzz grew louder. And then came the auctions. In the past decade, high-grade examples of the 1991 penny have shocked the coin collecting world with their sky-high prices. Imagine a single penny fetching over $10,000, $25,000, and in one legendary case, nearly $194,000. How is that even possible? The secret lies in rarity, condition, and demand. Most 1991 pennies were used, abused, spent, dropped, scratched, and thrown in jars. But a few were kept in pristine condition, either by accident or by forward-thinking collectors. These coins, when graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC as mint state 68 or higher, become immensely valuable. Combine that perfect condition with a rare error, like a doubled die obverse or a wrong planchet strike, and you have a once-in-a-generation coin. The story of the 1991 Lincoln cent is a reminder that value is not always visible at first glance. Sometimes greatness comes in small, quiet forms, like a penny sitting unnoticed in your change. What makes this coin even more fascinating is its design. Abraham Lincoln has appeared on the U.S. 1-cent coin since 1909, making it the longest-running portrait on any U.S. coin. The 1991 version continues this legacy, showing Lincoln's image surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust," a phrase steeped in American tradition, and "Liberty," a core value of the nation since its founding. Flip the coin over, and the Lincoln Memorial is engraved in stunning detail. And if you look very closely with a magnifying glass, you can actually see a tiny representation of the Lincoln statue between the columns, a marvel of micro-engraving artistry. That level of craftsmanship in a 1-cent piece is nearly unheard of in modern minting. But what makes the 1991 coin even more coveted is its place in American monetary history. The transition from bronze to copper-plated zinc had already happened in 1982 due to rising metal costs, but the effects were still being felt in the early 90s. During this time, some leftover bronze planchets may have accidentally been used again, creating ultra-rare transitional-era coins. Only a handful have been verified, and they are each worth a small fortune. Today, collectors are obsessed with finding these coins. Stories are everywhere. A teenager who found one in his lunch money stash and sold it for over $100,000. A retired man who spotted one while sorting through decades of change in a coffee can and ended up paying off his mortgage. It's real. It's happening. And it's not just rich collectors bidding on these coins. It's everyday people hoping to strike gold in the most unexpected of places. The 1991 Lincoln penny may have started its life as just another coin in a batch of billions. But over time, it has become a symbol of discovery, rarity, and wealth. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone new to the hobby, this coin offers a window into the hidden potential of U.S. currency. And the best part? You might already own one and not even know it. So what should you do right now? First, check your change. Look at every 1991 penny you find. Examine the date. Is the mint mark clear? Is it missing? Is it doubled? Does the design seem off-center or thicker than usual? Next, inspect both sides under good lighting. Use a jeweler's loupe if possible. Look for strong luster, minimal wear, and any unusual features. If you suspect you have something special, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value. Instead, submit it to a professional grading service. A graded, certified error coin is the only way to unlock its full market potential. And finally, keep learning. The world of coins is full of secrets, stories, and surprises. Today's 1991 Lincoln cent could be tomorrow's million-dollar treasure. With auction prices reaching 6 figures for high-grade or error examples, the humble penny has never looked more promising. Just imagine flipping through your coin jar one lazy afternoon and pulling out a copper gem worth $194,000. That's not a dream, it's happening right now, to real people, across the country. So don't ignore your pennies. Respect them. Inspect them. Collect them. Because sometimes, the smallest things carry the biggest value. And remember, the next time you see that tiny copper coin with Lincoln's face, the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," And United States of America. Pause for a second. You might just be looking at a piece of American history and a hidden fortune in your very hand. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most surprising treasures in modern numismatics, smash that like button, subscribe for more unbelievable coin stories, and share this video, because who knows? Someone you know might be holding on to a 1991 penny worth nearly $200,000 and have no idea. Stay curious, stay collecting, and never underestimate the power of a penny.